Okay? Other than that, do not dwell on the past because God is a future God. He does not dwell on the past. Nung sinabi niyang nagkasala ka, humingi ka ng kapatawaran, that's it, binura ko na yun, that's it. Period yon. As in, napakalaking period na yon. Now, if you continue to dwell on the past, pagpatuloy ka na nabubuhay sa nakaraan, ang magiging tendency niyan, yung kaaway ang laging nagre-remind sa'yo dun sa mga pagkakamali mo, hindi ang Panginoon. Okay? So kung gusto nyo na magkaroon ng mas matibay na pundasyon na bahay, kung gusto nyo na magkaroon ng bahay na maglalast forever, stop dwelling in the past as well. You have a choice. Meron po kayong choice ngayon to make a decision kung anong uri ng tahanan ang ibibuild nyo. Anong uri ng relationship ang ibibuild nyo sa Panginoon. If you choose to build a strong house, if you choose to build a strong family, if you choose to build a strong body, take note. Because we also have a choice to build a strong body. Okay? I like to make an example si Daddy Ray at saka si Tita Ging. Daddy Ray at Tita Ging. Sorry naman, maling partner. Kasi conscious sila masyado sa mga food intakes nila. Yung amount of fats na tinitake in nila is limited only to the point na kung ano lang ang kailangan ng katawan. Most of the time, ang kinakain nila are healthy foods. Okay? So I commend them for that. Why? Because they learn how to take care of their physical body. Hindi tayo pwedeng magamit ng Panginoon fully kung ang ating katawan ay merong sakit. Okay? Bakit ba yung mga pinili sa Old Testament ng mga magmi-minister sa mismong templo ng Panginoon ay puro mga magaganda at matitipuno? Bakit mga walang blemishes? Kasi pagka may mga sakit yon, makakapag-serve ba ng maayos yon? Hindi, di ba? Hindi lang dahil ayaw ng Lord ng imperfection, kundi pagkat alam ng Lord na mentros meron kang dinaramdam, meron kang sakit na dinadala, hindi ka makakapag-concentrate fully sa paglilingkod sa Kanya. So, ganun din po ang nire-require niya sa atin. If we want to build a house that will last forever, even our physical body should be built well. Okay? So, kailangan na ito po ay ating alagaan. There are several measures that we can discuss in how we can take care of our body, but I'm not going to dwell on that anymore. If you want, go find out yourself. Okay? Kung talagang interested kayo na pabuti ng inyong physical na katawan. Kung sasabihin natin na, opo, ang magiging desisyon ko po ay i-build o palakasin ng aking sarili, palakasin ng aking tahanan, palakasin ng aking pamilya, palakasin ng aking business sa pamamagitan ng by making Christ as the foundation of your life, then you are following the verses that says it. Okay, what verse is that? 24. That's verse 24, right? Let's go back to that verse. It says, "Therefore, everyone who hears the words of mine and acts on them may be compared to a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the wind blew, and slammed against that house, and yet it did not fall, for it had been founded on the rock." So this will be your guiding principle. If you choose to build a house that is sturdy, ito yung magiging guiding principle mo. Pero kung sasabihin mo, okay na ako sa ngayon, okay na ako as it is, kung ano man itong na-experience ko sa buhay ko, tinutulungan naman na ako ng Panginoon, kaya okay na ako rito, then you will be like Matthew 7:26 and 27. Ano yun? Everyone who hears the words of mine and does not act on them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. Then rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and slammed against that house, and it fell. Take note, hindi lang sinabing bumagsak. Diba? Anong sinabi doon? And great was its fall. Anong Tagalog ng great? At lubusan ang kanyang pagkabagsak. So kung sa ngayon, kontento ka sa okay lang, maintenance mode ka, kumbaga, sooner or later, you will realize, hindi ka lang pala natumba, kundi talagang hindi ka na makatayo. Okay? When God gives us two examples, He is giving us the opportunity to choose. We cannot be on both sides at the same time. Okay? You cannot say, oh, I wanna be wise. Sometimes. Pero okay lang din na maging foolish sometimes para naman exciting ang buhay. Diba? Naalala ko, diba sinabi ko sa inyo, merong team building sa amin nung nakaraang Friday ba yun? After the team building, expected mo na ang kwentuhan nila, yung mga nag-inuman sila, ganyan-ganyan. And then I found out that during the team building, ang naging result nun, instead na magkaroon ng team building, may nag-away. Nalasing na eh. Siyempre, nawala ang inhibition. Diba? Porket lasing na nawala ang inhibition, malalakas na yung mga tama? So ayun, may mga lumabas na sa kanilang mga bibig, na-offend na yung isa, na-offend na yung dalawa. Eventually, yung team building hindi naging building, kundi naging team crash na. Okay? So yun yung nangyayari. You cannot be wise and foolish on the other hand. You cannot be wise on this hand and then foolish on the other hand. You have to decide, gusto mo ba na maging matalino ka sa harap ng Panginoon o maging mangmang? Tama ba ako sa translation? O maging mangmang ka sa harap ng Panginoon? Mamili ka. If you're foolish, the door will be shut on your face. You have to take note of that. Kung pipiliin mo na manatili kang mangmang sa harap ng Panginoon dahil nahihirapan ka na sumunod sa mga guiding principles na ibinababa ng Panginoon sa iyong buhay para magbago ka, ang pintuan ng pagkakataon ay sasara sa iyong mukha. Bakit ko sinabi to? Remember the story of the 10 virgins who were waiting for the groom to come? 5 of them had an extra oil with them or brought an extra oil with them, and the other 5 just made do with whatever they had. Before that the appointed hour came, yung oil or yung oil dun sa lamp ng 5 foolish virgin ay pauubos na. So sabi nilang ganun sa mga wise virgins, pahiramin mo naman kami ng oil mo para naman umabot pa tong oil namin. Siyempre, wise nga sila, kaya nga sila wise di ba? So, ba't nila bibigyan? Correctness? Di kung wise ka, sana nagdala ka rin. Ba't ko ibibigay sa'yo? Di pag binigyan kita, pati kung mauubusan. Tama? So, ang sinasabi ng Panginoon, mentras binibigyan kita ng pagkakataon, dapat umakto ka dun sa pagkakataon na ibinibigay ko sa'yo. So, let us not be like the 5 foolish virgins na umalis at naghanap ng extra oil para sa pagdating ng groom. At by the time that they were able to find an extra oil, when they get back, sarado na ang pintuan sa kanila. So kahit na anong katok nila, anong sinabi sa kanila, lumayo kayo, hindi ko kayo kilala. Let us not give that opportunity to come in our way. It's a negative opportunity. Kundi ang opportunity na i-allow natin na mangyari sa ating buhay is even when the groom comes. Okay, nakahanda tayo. Na dumating man yung mga pagliliglig o bagyo na sinasabi ng Panginoon sa ating buhay, lagi tayong nakahanda kasi meron tayong sandata na ang pangalan ay kanyang salita. Amen? Kaya po, that's why those of us who are wise, the door is open for us to enter greater things in heaven. So you see, those 5 wise virgins, they were able to get inside and they were able to get married with the groom, right? Siyempre, pag nagpakasal ka na, ano sabi nila? Nasa heaven ka na. Kasi meron ka ng partner. Bakit naman may ganyan reaction ako nakikita? Okay? So, when the door of opportunity is open for us, then there is an opportunity for us to enter the greater things in heaven. Everything that the heaven can offer, maibababa sa atin. Bakit? Because widely open ang pintuan ng kalangitan para sa atin. Dahil i-prepare natin ang ating sarili. Okay? Pero mentras na hindi natin hinahanda ang ating sarili, kung ano lang yung bumagsak sa'yo, yun na lang yung pagkakasyahin mo. Kumbaga sa isang sweldo, pag sinabing 100 ka lang sa isang oras, hanggang 100 ka lang, bawal na mag-OT. Yun na lang yun. Pagkasyahin mo na lang yun. Wala nang maidadagdag sa'yo. Hindi katulad ng pag-open ng overtime, meron kang ine-expect na madadagdag dun sa basic na sweldo mo. Okay? So, ganun din po sa buhay natin. Pag sinabi natin na kontento na tayo dito, hanggang dun na lang yun. Kasi sinabi mo na kontento ka na eh. Pero pag sinabi mo na, Lord, I am going to do something para ikaw ay magkaroon ng kalayaan na mag-work o gumawa sa aking buhay, naku. Para siyang isang, ano tawag mo ito? Alarm sa pandinig ng ating Panginoon. Isang exciting na alarm sa pandinig ng Panginoon. Sabi ng anak ko, open daw ako sa buhay niya. Teka lang, excited ako dyan. Eto, gusto kong gawin to sa kanya. O eto, gusto kong gawin to sa kanya. So it's like giving God the permission to do a lot of things in our life. We are opening the heaven, the door of heaven in our life. Ganon yung nangyayari if we choose to build a house that will endure forever. Amen? So this morning, take the opportunity to seriously build accurately, to build your life well. The storm hasn't come yet. Okay? Wala pa. Umaaraw na yan. Baka mamaya. The rain hasn't fallen yet. The wind hasn't blown yet. Okay? When I speak about the storm, when I speak about the rain, when I speak about the flood, I'm not just merely speaking about the physical thing. But everything that can happen to our life, hindi pa siya talaga dumarating. Ano mang shaking ang nangyayari sa kapaligiran natin na ginagawa ng Panginoon, if you're going to be honest to yourself, you haven't been really touched by it yet. Personally, you have not been touched by it yet. Why? Because God is giving you the opportunity to prepare. 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 Yun yung sinasabi ng Panginoon. Prepare. Okay? We cannot afford to wait for the rain and the storm to come and the wind to blow over our life. Hindi mo, katulad ngayon, anong ginagawa ng government natin? Di ba? Prior sa pagpasok ng bagyo, si Pag-asa, andyan na. Nagbibigay na ng storm warning sa atin. Sasabihin nila, ano po, meron pong parating na low pressure area, meron pong i-experience po na hanging habagat, hanging amihan, hangin-hangin dito sa area na to. Expect po ng mga tao sa nakatira dito na ganito po yung may experience silang weather. Ganun po yung sinasabi ng Panginoon. Meron na siyang warning signal na ibinibigay sa atin na pag merong padating na bagyo, bago pa man dumating yun, winawarningan na tayo ng Panginoon para pag dumating yung bagyo na yun sa buhay natin, nakahanda tayo. Amen? Kaya nga yung iba, anong ginagawa nila? Tinatali na nila yung bahay nila, tinatanggal na nila yung mga puno na mas mataas pa sa kable. Diba? Ganun po yung ginagawa ng Panginoon sa atin for us to be able to prepare and remove that might harm us, that might hurt us. Amen? So God is merciful to give every one of us to build accurately. That is why we should build ourselves well, our marriage well, our family well, our mind well, and even our business and body. Lahat po ng oras ibinibigay ng Panginoon sa atin. Lahat ng pagkakataon ibinibigay ng Panginoon para mapabuti natin lahat ng meron sa atin. Yun po yung opportunity na ang tawag po doon ay mercy. Ano bang mercy sa Tagalog? Habag? Awa? Awa ng Panginoon. Kasi alam niya na kung hindi niya ipagkakalob sa atin ang kanyang awa, talagang kawawa tayo. Amen? A lot of people are attacked in the future, and that is the only time that they will realize that they should have built their life well. Aantayin pa ba natin na kung kailan meron ng atake sa buhay natin at saka natin sasabihin, sayang, kung alam ko lang na darating to, pinaghandaan ko sana. Hindi ba mas maraming ganong dialogue na nangyayari sa buhay? Na sinasabi nila, sayang, kung alam ko lang na may darating sa buhay ko na ganitong klase ng pagsubok, na sana, bago pa man nangyari to, pinaghandaan ko na to. Actually, sinabi na ng Panginoon na paghandaan mo, kaso wala kang ginawa. Ganun lang yun. Dahil hindi mo pinansin. Narinig mo ng sinabi ni na pastor. Narinig mo ng sinabi ni cell leader. Pero wala ka pa rin ginawa. Winarningan ka na ni discipler, wala ka pa rin ginawa. So, hindi mo pwedeng sisihin ng church. Hindi mo pwedeng sisihin ang Diyos, lalo na. At lalong hindi mo rin pwedeng sisihin si cell group leader at si discipler. At sasabihin mo na, bakit ba hindi niyo ako tinulungan? Tinulungan ka nila. Hindi ka nga lang nagpatulong kasi hindi ka natutong makinig. Amen? So take the opportunity and take the materials. Take all the help. Okay? Take whatever it is that God is giving you so that before it happens, you are already strong. So that when it happens, you have the prevailing grace. Okay? Para ikaw ay nananatiling nakatayo. You will have the buoyant spirit. Ano ibig sabihin ng buoyant? Katulad po sa isang tubig, na kahit umaalon ng ganyan, nananatili kang nasa ibabaw because there is the existence of buoyancy. Ganon din dapat yung spirito natin, na mananatili tayo nasa ibabaw kasi kahit na anong hampas ng alon sa buhay natin at bugso ng hangin sa buhay natin, mananatili tayong hindi nakalubog, mananatili tayong nakalutang, hindi tayo lulubog. Amen? And mananatili po sa atin ang governing grace to take everything head on and to rise above everything that will come our way. When do you say governing grace? Governing grace is when you take control of the situation. Negative things will happen, yes? Tama? It does. Every day, when you wake up in the morning, ayan yung atake ng kaaway. They will come. But unless you will learn to have the governing grace, you will not be able to take over the situation. Imbis na matatalo mo at nasa paanan mo yung sitwasyon, lalamunin ka ng sitwasyon if you do not have the governing grace with you. You have to learn to rise above your situation. And the only time that you will be able to do this is when you have Christ in your life and when you have your word as a weapon. And you have His righteousness as a breastplate. And what is kalasag? Breastplate of salvation. No, sword of spirit. Okay. So you need the full armor of God para mapanatili kang matatag. Amen? I know God is giving us the time to build, so build well and accurately. Make up your mind. As you hear, you have to act upon it. Otherwise, everything is just wasted. Am I wasting my time here? Hopefully not. Okay? As I speak, I listen as well to what God is saying. I hear. I make a decision. I decide to act upon it. I cannot afford na masira ang aking pamilya because of my foolishness. Dapat yun yung magiging prinsipyo na yan. I cannot afford na masira ang pamilya, masira ang buhay ng mga taong mahal ko dahil lang sa foolish akong tao. Dahil hindi ako nakikinig. Amen? Number 2, the revealed word are the materials that will last. When God speaks to you, that is the material used to build the house. When God speaks to you about your life, your family, your business, your ministry, take that word because that is the very material that will be used to build strongly. If you don't have material, you cannot build. Tama? Paano ka makakapagtayo ng isang bagay kung wala kang materyales na gagamitin? Kahit nga ba kulungan lang ng aso o kulungan ng manok, hindi mo maitatayo to kung wala kang materyales na gagamitin. Anong gagawin mo? Magmamagic ka? Whoosh! Diba? Kahit sa pagmamagic mo, meron kang material na ginagamit. Okay? It's your hands, your hand. Okay? Pero it doesn't work that way. You need physical materials to build something. Likewise, in building our spiritual houses, we need materials. And what are those materials? Number 1, salita ng Diyos. Number 2, presensya ng Diyos. Number 3, kakahingahan ng Diyos. Number 4, ang mga anak ng Diyos. Number 5, yung mga tao na inilagay ng Diyos para pangalagaan ka. Amen? So choose your material and don't listen to every opinion of everybody else. There is a tendency na ang tao pag nag-build, kahit na nga ba merong A1 quality, pipiliin pa rin nila yung third class kasi yun ang mura. And to compromise, paghahaluin ng third class at saka first class. Diba? Pero we all know that it is always the first class materials that builds a better result. Tama? If you choose to listen to the opinion of ungodly people, you cannot build strong. Why? Because ungodly people will just give you ungodly advices. Classic example, I just learned yung isang ka-wave mate ko na sabi niya Christian siya at worship leader siya or kasama siya sa worship team. 2 months ng buntis. Hindi pa siya kasal dun sa boyfriend niya. Tinanong ko, bakit hindi ka kasal? Kasi nagte-training pa daw, aantayin daw nilang matapos yung training bago daw sila gumawa ng desisyon. Sabi kong ganun sa kanya, I'm not judging kung ano yung ginawa mo. But you know, sabi kong ganun, kung ano ang katatayuan ko. So I have to say this, you have to straighten up your life. Walang kasalanan yung bata because produkto lang siya. Kasi naririnig ng baby yun. Okay? Walang kasalanan yung bata because the child is just a product of circumstances. Yeah? But nevertheless, as a parent, the parent has the responsibility over the child. Ayoko na lang sabihin sa kanya, kahit na nabubuhay na tayo sa modern na panahon, your child will remain a bastard until you make yourself right with God. Pero sinabi ko sa kanya, you have to make yourself straight. Sabi kong ganon. Talk to your partner about that. Why? Sabi na, alam mo mami, alam ko na sasabihin mo sa akin yan kaya nga hindi ko sinasabi sa'yo Sabi ko, yung iba alam na nila. Ninong pa nga sila, tsaka ninang. Sabi ko, I understand kung bakit hindi mo sinasabi sa akin. Kasi they will always tell you that it's all right. Sabi ko, those people who first learned of your situation will tell you that it's all right. Sabi ko, but because I love you, I am telling you that it was wrong. Naiyak siya. Sabi niya, Mommy naman, sabi niya gano'n sa akin. You know, sabi kong gano'n, kahit na yung pastor mo, ang tanongin mo, I'm pretty sure that your pastor will say the same thing to you. I may not be your pastor, sabi kong gano'n, but because I love you, I'm telling you this. Sabi kong gano'n sa kanya. Wala na tayong magagawa sa baby, ando na yung baby. It's life. Diba? Alam naman natin ng Panginoon, kahit na gaano kapangit ang sitwasyon, gagawin niya pa rin maganda to in the end to serve His purpose. Amen? But nevertheless, until we learn from any bad experience that we have, then everything will be in vain. Sayang nga wala dito yung ibang mga young people natin na patuloy na nanatili sa kabilang daan. Ay, ganun. Sa kabilang daan. How I wish that they would listen or they will be able to hear. So that they will know that God is giving them the opportunity to straighten up their life as early as now. Because God has a plan for us. Imaginein mo, bakit ibibigay ng Panginoon ang mga ganitong uri ng mga salita at prinsipyo sa atin sa ganitong edad natin? Especially those who are younger. Sino pinakabata ngayon na nandito? Ano ba to? Jessica ba to? Jezabel? Ilan taon ka na, Jezabel? Nasa likod mo, ilan taon na? Pareho kayong 14? Si Micah, 14? Ilan taon ka na, Mike? 13? Okay, so winner, congratulations. Okay, so try to imagine, as early as the age of 13, you are already hearing this kind of word or principles from the Lord. Then there must be something in it kung bakit ipinaririnig sa'yo ng Panginoon ang ganitong uri ng katuruan. Right? So we have to learn how to appreciate how God is working in our life. Sasabihin ko sana, kasimbata ni na Casey, ni Sarah, tsaka kaso nandyan si Mike. So sorry, hindi kayo winner. Di ba? Sina Micah tsaka sina Jezebel ang winner. Di ba? Why do you think God is telling you about these things? Maybe because He has a grand plan for your life. Parang ngayon pa lang, established na kayo at rooted na kayo dun sa rock. Na ang magiging pundasyon ng buhay nyo as you grow older is not just the opinion of anyone else sa buhay nyo, kundi mismong ang salita ng Diyos ang magiging pundasyon ng buhay nyo. Amen? Ay, sorry, hindi pala kayo ang bata, may baby pala doon. Binawi bigla andun pala si Sarah Elizabeth. Tama ba? Hindi, ikaw pala si Sarah Elizabeth. Ano ba pa? Sarah Elizabeth din yan, di ba? Ha? Shane? Binago na? Shane na ba ngayon? Akala ko Sarah Elizabeth din na, kaya sabi ko pareho kayo ng pangalan So Shane. Okay? Kaya nga. So, you have to understand how God is working on things. And let us also question, okay, sila yung bata. Maybe because God is trying to build a foundation in their life. How about nanay and tatay Summer? How about lola? Bakit at this age, hanggang ngayon, napapakinggan nila itong mga ganito? Because they are in the particular level of life wherein they are able to influence people who are younger than them. Diba? That when they try to speak, people will listen because they are already considered the age of wisdom. Tama? But how will they be able to impart wisdom kung sila mismo, even at their age, wala silang natutunan? Tama? I'm not saying na wala po kayong natutunan, okay? But what I'm saying here is because God is allowing you to hear these things because He can still use you at your age. There will still be people, younger people na makakasalamuha nyo sa buhay nyo na pwede nyong pagsalitaan and they will listen because sa age nyo. Number one factor sa age nyo. They will know that you have already gone through a lot of experiences in life and that once you begin to speak, they know na eto, napagdaanan nyo na and nalagpasan nyo na. And kung paano nalagpasan nyo, then pwede nilang lagpasan. Amen? So that is how God works. He deals with everyone according to what is the need of. Amen? People may vary from their opinion. Kaya nga sabing ganun, you have to be careful kung anong uri ng materyales ang kukunin mo kung kani-kanino. Kung meron kang problema, sinong unang-una mong tinatakbuhan? Ano ang una mong pinapakinggan? Baka naman may problema ka na, bubuksan mo muna ang FM radio. Diba? Bubukas ka, tapos pakikinggan mo muna yung ano bang station yon, yung puro love song? Melodies? Mellow Touch, yan. Dati LSFM ang pinapakinggan mo. Ngayon, punta muna ako sa Mellow Touch kasi ang sakit ng puso ko. Ang tagal niya na akong hindi tinitext. Imposible namang wala siyang pang-load. Pinadalhan ko na nga siya ng load. Ayaw pa rin niyang mag-text sa akin. Ano ba naman yung isang text lang? Hindi niya na ako mahal. Hindi niya na ako naaalala. Kailangan ko makinig muna. Tapos makikinig ka ng radio na ganyan, eksaktong-eksakto yung kanta. Diba? Hindi mo na ako maalala, sinasabi nung kanta rin. Talagang feel na feel mo rin siya. Kaya maraming nagpapakamatay. Totoo yun. Yung mga tinatawag na emo-emo. Why? Because they chose to listen to those things. Instead of being helped, the more na naibabaon sila dun sa emotions nila. Why do I say this? Experience ko, 2 pinsan ko na nagpakamatay. Because they chose to listen sa ibang tao. Sayang yung mga buhay nila, lalo na yung unang-una. Accomplished doctor na siya, neurologist pa siya. As in, magaling siyang doktor. I'm not saying this because he's my cousin. I'm saying this in the perspective of a patient. Kasi, ano na naman kami, ginamot niya rin kami dati, okay? Chinek niya rin kami dati. And nakita ko kung gaano siya kagaling. So, nung nagpakamatay siya, lahat kami, devastated kami kasi panganay siya din sa aming